Welcome to the Travel Tidbits Podcast, hosted by me, Jamie Weitl, travel advisor and owner of Pineapple Escapes Travel. Join me as I share the latest travel news, top destinations, and expert tips for the savvy traveler. Because after all, travel makes life sweeter. Welcome back to the Travel Tidbits Podcast. I'm your host, Jamie Weitl, and today I'm joined by one of our talented Pineapple Escapes travel agents and a holiday enthusiast, Audra Monk. We know it's only July, but we're diving into one of the busiest, most magical, and yes, most expensive times of the year to travel, the holidays. Whether you dream of sipping hot cocoa at a European Christmas market, soaking up the sun in the Caribbean, visiting Walt Disney World or Universal as a family gift, or celebrating New Year's Eve with fireworks over the ocean, holiday travel is truly something special. So in this episode, Audra and I are going to talk about why you should be planning your holiday getaway now, not later, now, why prices are higher during peak times and holiday travel is one of the most expensive, some amazing destinations we love for Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's, as well as why travel just might be the best gift you can give your loved ones this year. I definitely think travel is the best gift. So grab your iced coffee, turn up the AC, and let's talk about holiday travel. Even if it's 90 degrees outside, now is the time to start planning. So thanks for being here, Audra. So glad you've decided to join us on the podcast. So I think we have to start with the big question that I know that you've received, and I know I get those emails every October. We're ready to plan our holiday vacation. And by October, there's limited availability. So is it too late in October to start planning? Not necessarily. However, it's very important to start planning now. And even though this feels like months in advance, the sooner you can plan, the better. So let's talk a little bit about why this is so important and why starting to plan now is critical for our clients.
It is important to start now. Of course, you can get lucky sometimes at the last minute, but it's not usually the best way to go. And it really is the availability. Seats on the flight start to fill, the rooms at the resorts are filling up, and then the prices start going up. So the longer you wait, I think the less choices you have.
Absolutely. I think you definitely have less choices, and really during the holiday season, a lot of people have time off work, kids have holiday breaks. So it's really about supply and demand, right? So let's break down a little bit about why holiday travel tends to be more costly, especially for flights and things like all-inclusives.
Yeah, the short answer is just that, is the availability. But the more people who want to do it, the less spaces there'll be available. And as everything starts to fill, the prices go up. And like you said, it is sometimes for people, it's the only time they can travel together. So, I feel like the vendors are, of course, going to know that. And so they're going to ask for more. And, we have to pay it.
Right. I mean, if you want to travel during these busy seasons, you're going to pay more. And everything is at a premium during the holidays. However, we can help you with your budget and try to figure out the best options for you depending on what you're looking for. But I think it definitely is one of those, either you pay with your wallet or you pay with your flexibility. If you can travel anytime during the year, traveling during the holidays probably isn't the best option for you, just based on cost, crowds, that sort of thing. And if you want the best room category, if you want nonstop flights, if you're looking for family-friendly suites, all of those types of things are the first to go during that busy holiday season. Lots of multi-generational trips, lots of family trips. So it is definitely something to keep in mind. And the earlier you can start planning, the better. So let's kind of pivot a little bit and talk more about the fun part of holiday travel. Yes, it's expensive. Yes, you need to plan ahead, but travel really is the best gift. And I think you and I both know that from our experiences with our families. So what are some of your favorite destinations for holiday travel? And let's talk a little bit about how we help our clients facilitate these kinds of holiday trips.
Yeah. So some of my favorites, of course, are Disney and Universal because they're great for families. They're great for couples. They're great with kids, without kids. And then I do think if you want that traditional holiday feel, then going somewhere, why not do your Europe trip at Christmas time? It'll be something different for sure. You can bundle up and explore, and it's all magical there. I think you've been in New York before. That's on my list to go to New York at Christmas because, do all those traditional holiday things there. And then one of my other favorite things, though, is cruises, because then you don't have to do anything. You don't have to worry about getting to a tour or how do I get from here to there? Because once you're there, it's all taken care of for you.
Yeah, I agree. I think so. We've done a lot of different types of holiday trips for my family. I like to be gone over the holidays, and with 3 high schoolers, it is one of the few times we can travel. Spring break, Christmas break, those sorts of things are good times for us to travel. So this past year, we did do Christmas in New York. We've been Home Alone fans forever, and so we kind of wanted a little bit of Elf and a little bit of Home Alone, like to see those same holiday sights. And it really was magical. It's just very neat to see some of these settings during that time frame. But I will say that a tropical Christmas is fun too. I mean, definitely a different feel for those of us with traditional seasons, but there's nothing like a decorated palm tree or the Christmas trees in Hawaii to really kind of set the tone for things. So I love that there can be this mix of either a warm weather destination that still has that holiday feel, or you can do something like a river cruise in Europe or, a traditional land-based trip in Europe and still get some of that classic holiday feel as well. So most of my clients typically want Disney, Universal, all-inclusives, those kinds of trips during the holidays. I'm from the Midwest, so most of my clients want to escape the cold. They want to get away from it. But we do a lot of trips that are like Christmas gifts for families. So like I actually just booked yesterday a Disney trip for over the holidays, and they're actually going like the first week in January, but they're going to give it as a gift under the tree for their children. So I think that is so exciting and such a great way to kind of gift that feel of holiday travel. So I know we've both helped so many families and couples plan these holiday trips, but there just really is something special about traveling and being away during the holidays. So Audra, what do you think makes holiday travel so memorable, and why is it such an important piece of our family memories?
I do think it's important. I love being home and sharing like those holiday traditions, but I think that occasional holiday trip, I mean, for me, I'd go every year, but I don't think my family would. But I think that occasional trip, it just makes it like you have these shared moments. And you'll be like, remember on that trip when we went for that cruise at Christmas and blah, blah, blah. And it's just so fun to share those memories because you can have those memories of making your same cookies the same time every time. But sometimes having different memories makes it a little bit more memorable because you don't do it all the time.
Yeah, absolutely. And so I know for my family, I mean, we've been traveling since my kids were little over the holidays. So our first big holiday trip, when Santa had to come on a different day, my girls were 5 and my son was 7. So we sent a letter with our elf so that Santa would come early. And so Santa came on a different day. So we still did all of those same traditional holiday things at home. We just did them before we left on our trip. And I mean, it was still just as magical. And you can make sugar cookies that aren't on Christmas Eve and they still taste just as good.
They do.
Trust me, they do. So I think there are ways to work around this so that you can still have that traditional holiday experience with your family and get to take a trip. And I think especially now that my kids are getting older and once they start to, have boyfriends and girlfriends that are serious and they want to spend the holidays with someone else. I mean, there's no reason Mike and I can't travel on Christmas and then celebrate with them on a different day. Like for me, it doesn't have to be on the holiday to be the holiday. So I think that's one way to kind of look at that and think about it. But I completely agree too that it's about those memories. And I think that's what makes travel in general so magical is you're outside of your normal daily routine, outside of your element, and you're able to experience these things with your family and have those memories. Like that to me is more valuable than anything you're going to wrap for me under the tree. Like I would rather have that for sure. What are your thoughts, Audra?
Yeah. And sometimes the misadventures make, you may not enjoy it in that moment, but they make for really good stories later. I mean, I don't want you to have any misadventures, but sometimes it happens. But yeah, so when they were younger, I have family lives in Colorado. So sometimes we would go to Colorado and my brother lives near a ski resort and, you know, we would do like that Christmas winter experience. But my kids are now in their mid to late 20s. So when, well, you'll get there with the college, like you only have these like weeks you can go. What I liked is eventually I started to even let go of too many presents. Like I was like, no, this is your present. Here's your $200. You can buy souvenirs. You can keep it. I don't really care. But your trip is Disney World or your trip is Universal. We did a cruise one time with my husband's family and the nieces and nephews are younger. So they had to do that. Oh, Santa came early. And it was so funny to see my kids try to like not discuss whether Santa came to them or not, but they still had a good time. And so you can do the multi-gen and put everybody together. You know, when you do Disney or Universal, the parks decorate. So that's kind of fun. I really like that. I don't know. I like that we get away together and we spend that time together because as they get older, like we have less time together. My kids two of mine don't live close to me. They're about 4 hours away. That's a long way for getting together. So when I say, hey, we're going somewhere, it really works. And when we're not going somewhere, or actually sometimes the gift is the trip. Like maybe you are going to do a bigger trip in the summer. Dude, you can wrap that up and give it to a 25-year-old and they'll be like, cool. Do I have to pay anything? And you're like, no, I'm paying for this one. Or we give gifts that go with the trip. Like we're going to Alaska next month. And so everybody got warm socks and binoculars because I'm like, this is something you're going to use and something, you know, that a 20-year-old might not think to buy or bring with them. And then like you had mentioned, like you and Mike could go somewhere. That's what my husband and I did. I was like, hey, don't you want to go on a Disney cruise this year? And so we planned it for January, but it was fun. He made coupons. He makes fancy coupons. I was like, so you're gifting me my gift, but but we did talk about it and discuss it. And it was super fun to have something to look forward to. So even if you don't do the trip at the holidays, gifting a trip is a great way to go to.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. Even if you're not going until summer, like you're saying with your Alaska trip, I think giving those gifts that are things that they can use or a certificate, that sort of thing. But I do think it's funny that Eric did that to you just because like you obviously booked the trip, but okay, like it's a thought that counts, right? So
it did. Yep. I got a certificate and everything. And I was like, all right.
I'm going on the Disney cruise that I booked, but it's all good. It's all good.
Yeah.
That's too funny. But I do think there are ways to make travel, if travel is central to your life, which if you're listening to this podcast, I think probably you're pretty interested in travel or you wouldn't be listening to us ramble on about these things. But there are ways to make it central to your life and plan around your trips to make those memories and those gifts that you do give during the holiday season travel related and attached to those memories. And I think that can be so special. You're not just giving a plane ticket or a hotel stay. You're giving that quality time. You're giving connection. You're giving time together. And I think that's the best gift any of us can give to our families or to anybody who's around us is our time and our ability to be together. So let's shift a little bit here and talk about why it's important to utilize a travel advisor, especially during high demand seasons. The holidays can be very stressful for travel. Especially the last few years, there have been lots of airline debacles, that sort of thing. So Audra, how do you help your clients navigate the holiday rush, thinking about flights, airport timing, transfers, all the little pieces and the festive experiences so that you can showcase your value and help them have the best, most magical Christmas vacation?
Yeah, I think preparation is key, like letting them know that. And If I can fly them early in the day or get them a nonstop flight, that's top on my list.
Absolutely.
Then you will get there. Because too, weather, like I'm on the East Coast, but in Maryland, we have snow and ice sometimes in December or January, just like you guys in the Midwest. So get there early, prepare, know that it's going to be crowded. Like bring your happy hat. I don't like smile at everybody. The workers, it's not their fault. Like I do remind people, like be nice to the TSA person, be nice to the gate attendant. And it's not that you want them to give you something. You just want them to know that you appreciate them working that day. And I make sure they just really know, like when you get there, how are you getting to your resort? Do we pre-book something? Are you taking a car service? You know what to do. Any kind of excursions, any of that tour, I would definitely pre-book any of that because it's probably gone by the time you get there, whether you're tropical or city, those things will have been booked up. And then I tell them, ask me all the questions, any questions you need before you go. And if you really have something going on while you're there, I'm definitely here to support you as needed.
Absolutely. Yes. And I think that also we can kind of, like you said, prepare the client for what they're walking into. Like when someone reaches out to me to book Walt Disney World over Christmas break, like I tell them up front, like it is going to be more busy than usual. This is what you can expect. They have to know what they're going into and what that's going to feel like. And then they can make the decision. Okay, maybe I don't really want to go over Christmas. Maybe I want to go the first week in January instead. And we can pivot if needed. And I think your point about being nice to people is critical. Like if you are angry and grumpy and, hard to be around, you're going to have more and more problems. The happier you can be and just go with the flow, the better off you're going to be. But we are here to help you. If there are airline delays, that sort of thing, that is what we are here for. So I have to kind of throw in, so Christmas 2024 for us was not our best year. Let's just put it that way, to put it mildly. But we started out with our trip to New York right after the kids got out of school. And our flight was canceled on the way home. And then there were not any other flights that would accommodate the 5 of us. This was like December 22nd, I think. There weren't any flights out until Christmas Eve. And I wanted to get home before Christmas Eve because we were supposed to celebrate with my mom on Christmas Eve. So we ended up renting a car and driving from New York back to the Chicagoland area, which would definitely not have been my first choice, but it was what we needed to do to get home in the timing that we had. And luckily we had insurance. Everything was covered. We could have even stayed in New York a few extra nights and then flown home, but I didn't want to stay longer because of the holiday. So having someone on your side who knows how to navigate those kinds of situations, like, yeah, there might not be a flight out, but there are other options. There are buses, there are trains, there are cars, planes, trains, and automobiles, right? Like it's one of those things. So having someone who has an A, B, C, D plan for you can be really critical, especially during busy holiday seasons. And I know in 2023 at Christmas, Southwest Airlines had a big debacle where lots of people were stuck all over the US, but navigating that on your own is no fun. So having an agent who can help is definitely a perk, I think. So having someone on your side. Let's go ahead and talk a little bit about our travel favorite of the week. One thing that I think is really important when you travel is making sure that you are prepared and have everything that you need. But most places you can buy things if you forget them. So, Audra, what is your one item or one travel hack that you think people should bring or have for a smooth holiday trip?
We already hit it just a little bit, and it's not actually a thing for me. It is your patience and your holiday spirit. And I know that's intangible and like it means different things to different people. But when it is that busy, like, do you want to remember this trip as a really grumpy trip the whole way? Probably not. And so I think you just have to allow people grace because different people handle it different ways, yourself included. And so super important, I guess, is eat regularly. So make sure somebody has a kind bar in their bag and it's, nobody likes a hangry mom. It just doesn't work. Or the dad. I don't know who it is, but in my family, unfortunately, it's probably usually me.
Me too. You're good.
Regularly. And when your family notices, like if they offer you the snack, eat the snack and that will help. And then if you can convince your people to do it, some matching shirts, depending on where you are, I do think they're fun. Like my family's not a matching shirt family. Well, I mean, I think it'd be cool, but they don't. So I'm always like, I get one day, and sometimes it takes us a very long time to figure out the shirt. The year we did in Disney World, I hunted and I had to get approval, but I got these ones with and I'm so terrible at half of this stuff. The Mandalorian was on the speed bike thing, and he had the little baby Yoda guy, and then he had presents in the back, and they were flying out, and it was approved by all 5 of us. So that was the shirt we wore.
My kids have reached that point too, where it's more challenging for the match stuff. When they were little, it was pretty easy I just bought it and everybody wore it. And now it's like the same situation you're going through where I would need everyone's approval, and it's a whole thing.
Yeah. In the middle, we went with like colors. So like it was green day, then it was red day, then it was blue day. That way, at least I knew what they were wearing. And one time as a joke, where were we? I don't know. We were in Las Vegas. I think we went to visit family, and we get in the rental van to go back to leave, and they're all chuckling in the car. And I'm like, why are you guys laughing? They're like, Mom, you didn't even notice. They're like, it's blue day. And they had all worn blue shirts, different ones. But like, they were like, remember when we were kids and you used to make us wear like the same clothes? So they will remember.
Yes.
So it's pretty funny.
It's those things that they'll remember, it's crazy. Yeah. The weirdest little things that become family traditions and family memories. But I like that though. So thinking about I think you're right. I think bringing your patience and your holiday spirit is so important for travel during the holidays. But I also like to add a little bit of holiday cheer. So no matter where we have gone, I've either had like some string lights or a little pop-up tree or matching holiday pajamas. I do still get away with that every year at Christmas.
We've done that once in our life. Holiday pajamas once. No, they're not.
I do that every year. That's still every year. That's still a thing in our house. So something like that, though, that kind of brings that festive vibe, I think is really important and a really key piece for us for having that little bit of extra holiday spirit. And stuff like that's easy to pack, like especially some lights or something like that. It takes no trouble. And even on some of the cruise lines, you can have your room decorated for Christmas if you want to, if you're willing to pay for it. So there's some neat things you can do to just add that little Christmas touch that I like. So this has really been fun to talk about and think about. Now I'm ready to start thinking about my holiday trip. Yes, I'm behind.
I want to figure out, can I find something?
I'm behind in my figuring out, but I'm excited for it. But do you have any final advice or any other tips or thoughts for someone planning to travel this year during the holiday season?
Yeah, I mean, I'd say just do it. Like if you're thinking about it, we need to start planning. You need to kind of narrow down where you want to go, contact your travel agent. We're here to help you. And we just need to get on it, because if you haven't started it already, there's already limits to what will be available. So let's do it.
Yeah, I agree. Couldn't have said it better myself. So whether you're dreaming of holiday magic in a snow globe setting, or you're thinking of more of a beachside tropical celebration with no stress, planning early is the key. And if you are listening to us and wondering where to begin, your favorite Pineapple Escapes travel agent would love to help you make it magical. We want to help make your holiday season unforgettable. Thanks so much for joining me today, Audra. And for everyone listening, remember, travel makes life sweeter. Thanks for tuning in to this episode of the Travel Tidbits Podcast, where we believe travel makes life sweeter. The team at Pineapple Escapes Travel would love to help you plan a trip filled with lasting memories. Visit us online at www.pineappleescapes.com to start planning your next adventure.